Well, hello, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Dating and Bright, the podcast. We are not affiliated or endorsed by Brightline Eating, and all content presented in this podcast represents our personal opinions and does not represent medical, nutritional, or psychological professional advice. Oh, I feel like I normally sit on a cushion.
Oh, I think you do.
Are you going to get a cushion?
I'm going to get you a cushion.
Okay. I guess I'm cutting most of this.
I'm looking shorter than you.
Oh, that really had nothing to do with it. It was more about where I'm sitting with the microphone.
Okay. This puts us on a level.
Is that not okay?
It's fine.
Oh, okay. You
It's
said it like
totally
you can't.
fine. No.
I can't. We can't have you looking shorter than me. Like I.
You
Okay.
are taller than me by an inch and a half.
Or two.
Oh, really? Like only an inch. I think I'm 5'5.5". Are we going there?
No,
Are we
we're
starting
not
that?
tickling.
What are we talking about?
What are we- Hey, nice robe.
Nice robe. I love our matching robe.
I know. We're talking about Portland.
Talking
That's
about
okay.
Portland.
Yeah.
That was our first trip together.
Okay. Wait.
Really?
Stop. We're not starting.
She needs to start. Can you start, please?
How's my hair look?
It's beautiful.
As she changes it, it looks beautiful. I seriously thought you were gonna do it. I thought you were gonna look and do it. Okay. Are we ready now? What are we
talking about?
Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Dating and Bright, episode 14.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Is it
13 was
14?
Maria.
Oh yeah, 13 was Maria.
Oh no, wait. We're doing these in different orders.
Oh shoot. We have no idea what episode this is. This is
I'll say
an
15.
episode. Oh yeah, we'll say 15. Okay, episode 15.
Episode 15. It's gonna come out in a couple weeks. Oh, I'm sorry. 15. Episode 15. Sorry guys, you get to see it behind the behind the curtain a little. For those of you that don't know, we record in batches. We don't record every week because that would be a lot. But we do record in batches, and we're recording out of order, which we don't normally do. We normally record in order, but we have one that we want to put out before this one. So anyway, there you go. You know, because it was last week. If you listened last week, it was about the holidays because Thanksgiving was last week. So there you go. Now we're going to talk about travel.
Right.
Talk about travel. Oh, so we're wearing our bathrobes.
On purpose.
Yeah. We normally put on clothes on purpose. We don't normally do it on accident.
Right, but usually we're dressed. So I mean, we didn't just be like, oh, it's 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. Let's put our robes on.
Nope. We did actually say
Sorry.
we did say let's put our robes on, but we said because we want to talk about travel, because the reason why we got these robes was because of a trip that we took. And so we wanted to talk about that. So go talk.
Well, it was the first trip. Not really the first trip because we did travel together. When we drove down the coast and
Yes.
when I came here,
On her epic road trip.
yes, on my epic road trip, the perimeter trip. But
Epic road trip to
yes. But
to-
when I moved here, at the end of July, like the first
2024.
weekend,
Let's just,
2024.
like,
Yeah, we've
timestamp that in case, who knows?
Years later,
Yeah.
people are gonna want to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, July 2024, when I moved here, we took a trip like the first weekend that we'd planned.
Well, so that was the whole thing, is that we had planned this trip. It was for her birthday. So you guys are going to get the long backstory here. So I had her favorite band,
Big Thief.
which is Big Thief, was playing at a music festival in Portland at the end of July. And so when I found that out, that's what I knew I had wanted to get that for her birthday. So we don't live in Portland, but we live 3 hours away. So it's an easy car trip. So
But at the time when you bought them, I was still living in Southern California.
Yes, and we
thought
bought-
that I was going to be
and we
there.
bought plane tickets for her to fly up and back. And so that was actually part of it too. So we had this whole trip plan. And then as like time went on, because your birthday's in April, so that was months and months in advance, we talked more and more about you moving here sooner. And so then it was like, okay, we'll just trade out the plane tickets for something else, which is what we ended up doing. If, if you're going to move here by the end of July, you'll just land. And then a couple days later, we went to Portland.
Yes.
That was our weekend. The first weekend you were here, we went to Portland.
It
So
was.
yeah.
And it was fun. And when we went there, we stayed in an Airbnb in this little downtown Portland. It was really cute.
Yeah. And I'll just say, like, so this is because we're going to be talking about traveling. Like when we travel, if especially we're going to be in some place for more than one night, we will almost always get an Airbnb because
we want the kitchen.
We want someplace to be able to cook because we don't want to
store food.
Yeah. Yes. Store food. And we could talk about that trip to Portland and what we did food wise and that sort of thing. So I think that's kind of why we want to talk about it. We talk about traveling together, obviously as a couple, but also just like, this is more BLE centric as far as like how we manage our food.
Traveling bright.
Yeah. And how you travel bright. So
planning. It's a lot of planning.
Yeah. So I think that was the thing that we talked about. We were going to be there.
I don't even remember the date. Was it Saturday?
I think it was Friday. We went Friday.
Saturday night.
I think the concert was on Sunday, wasn't it?
The concert was on Sunday, and then we left Monday morning.
Yes, and then we drove back Monday morning.
Did we go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I think we did. Gosh, guys, we're gonna have to look at a calendar.
It
was a long time ago. I think it was because I think that we ended up. I think we needed to stay because the concert was on a Sunday.
Because it's definitely Sunday.
Yeah, it was, and so we didn't drive back until Monday morning. So anyway, so we knew that we needed to take food, shop for food, we needed to do all the things to get what we needed to be able to stay there. But also, we did the investigation of like, what does the Airbnb have? Like, does it have a stove? Does it have a
microwave?
Does it have a full size fridge? Because that's a big consideration on bringing food, especially like if we're going to bring a bunch of stuff down, we didn't want to not have a place to store it. So this was an excellent Airbnb in Portland that we will definitely go back to. It was super cute. But the really fun thing about this Airbnb is they had robes. They had matching like terry cloth robes.
Almost exactly like these.
Yeah, they were more waffle, I think. I don't think they were as terry as
I
these
think they
are.
weren't as thick, but I don't, maybe a little waffly.
Anyway, but we lived in them that weekend when we were in the Airbnb. Like we were just like, oh, these robes, like we were just like, we put them on for everything. We're like, oh, we're back in the Airbnb. We did a lot of out and about. Like we weren't just
walked. We walked to the downtown.
Yeah, we went to Pal's Books.
We walked to the concert.
Yeah, we did. We walked to the concert.
Yeah. We were gonna walk to Pal's Books too, but we ran out of time. So
we didn't have enough time to do it. Yeah.
But we did. We walked all over and it was really fun. And we walked to the store, didn't we?
Yeah, there was the neighborhood that we were staying in, it was like a little, there was a bunch of little, like there was a coffee shop and some other little boutique things, but then a little bit further, just like a block and a half further, there was like a natural grocery store.
It
like
was almost
Whole Foodie. Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice. So there was a few things.
Got your the washcloth we have.
The washcloth? Yeah.
The netting washcloth.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot that we got that.
Sorry, squirrel.
Anyway, but we did plan, we had planned to bring down food. We knew we were going to eat out one meal. We had planned that we were going to do one meal, like a nice meal out, and that we wanted to have that, but then otherwise we were going to either do like simple food, which we do a lot of simple food for breakfast and lunch anyway. And then we brought leftover, I made the zucchini noodle lasagna. I remember that. And so we brought leftover zucchini noodle lasagna with us, and we had that for the two evenings that we ate. And we ate before we went to the concert.
We did.
Because the concert was a little bit of a later start, I feel like.
It was part of there was a whole list of people playing, what do you call that? A festival.
Festival, yeah.
And Big Thief was playing last. And so
they were headlining the second day. So we knew that they weren't going to be on until like 8 or.
Yeah, 8, I think, was when they were slated. And so we got there at like 7, I think.
Yeah, we were the old people that walked into the festival late. So.
Yeah, they were out of merch. It was the last. I mean, we had to order merch online.
It was okay. It was fun, though.
I was wearing the shirt in the last episode.
Oh, you're gonna wear it.
I am gonna wear it. Yeah.
We haven't recorded that episode yet. If you remember the Easter egg from before, yeah, I guess she's gonna put that shirt on. That's cute. That's cute. A little foreshadowing.
Wear yours too. We'll be matching.
Oh, we can be matching. Yeah. Okay, maybe not.
We can. We totally can if you want to.
We both got the same shirt because we both liked it, and I got a size smaller, and she doesn't like how tight it is. So
yeah. So I got a larger one,
which is too big for her.
It might be a little, but it's comfortable.
Okay. Anyway, so traveling. We did. We brought almost all our food with us, if I remember correctly. I feel like there was very little, maybe some like vegetables. Oh,
peaches we got at the
Oh yeah, we
farmer's
went to the
market.
farmer's
Oh
market, the
my
which we
gosh.
talked about on the farmer's market episode a little bit.
Yeah.
But when we are in a place and we can get, farm fresh veggies and fruit, like we will 100% do it. So that was what we did on Saturday morning. We went to the Portland farmer's market, and yeah, the
Those peaches. Oh my
we
god.
got a whole box.
Flat,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I mean,
Case? I don't know what you call it.
there's probably like 10, 12
12
peaches,
peaches.
and they were big peaches. They were really good. So I remember we did get those. Maybe there was some other fruit that we bought and veg. I don't remember.
I
We
don't
went
think
to
we
the
got
store
any
for
other fruit.
something.
We got smoked salmon. That was the first time I had smoked
Oh yeah, we
salmon.
got smoked salmon at that
Yeah.
farmer's market too. But we went to the store to get something.
No, we went to the store. Did we get tomatoes at the store?
Maybe we got tomatoes at the store. I think we
What
also got
else
stuff
did
for the
we
boys.
get? Yeah, we
We
got
did
the
get
toys
we got little
there.
toys
Yeah.
for the boys at the store.
But then we got them books at Pal's
We got them
too.
books at Powell's. So Powell's, if you don't know, is this huge. We actually just need to call this the Portland episode. We're not even talking about other travel. We're just talking
Right.
about Portland. But
Yeah.
that Powell's is this huge bookstore, and it's like infamous in Portland. And it's if you're ever in Portland, Oregon, 100% go to Powell's Books. If you are even mildly into books, because it's like anything, everything, all the things, and it's a really cool bookstore.
But
So
they have used games, magazines. They
everything,
have everything.
yeah, yeah,
It's like just floors and floors and different
yeah.
sections and yeah, there was a lot. But also I got my Doc Martens across the street
At the
Doc
Doc
Martens
Martin store. That's true. And shout out Portland doesn't have any
Sales
sales tax,
tax.
so everything's cheaper there. So we like to make big purchases in Portland, just so
Yes.
you know, because it's right across. It's 3 hours away, but it's right across. It's right across the border from Washington. So,
Yeah.
um, more on travel.
Yes.
So that was that trip. We packed most of our food, but um, I mean, we've kind of talked about when I came down to visit you, like that I would, like we basically went to the grocery the first time. So let's talk about the first time I came down to visit you.
Okay.
I was flying. I did not bring any food with me. And I didn't really tell you to go buy me food. I just said like we'll go to the grocery store first thing.
And we did. We
And
went to Costco and we went to another one too, didn't we?
I think we went to
We
Ralph's.
went to Ralph's?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
I don't like Ralph's, but I think we went there. No, we went to Safeway. We went to Stater Brothers.
Okay.
We went to Stater Brothers.
Anyway, so that way, that was our first stop. So I think that I think that the difference in Bright Travel is like you either are driving in or flying. I mean, people like to take their food when they fly too. I personally haven't done that other than just like maybe like my meals because like that's the other thing is like, when you traveled, when you just went back down to California to see your mom, you took breakfast and lunch with you in your backpack.
And I took breakfast bakes for the weekend too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Yeah.
you did that. Yeah. So a lot of people do fly with their food, and you can get through TSA with food.
Yeah, but it's harder if you go to Canada because they're you can't take stuff. I just had, was it Faith was talking about that? One of our friends was talking about going across the border. It's hard.
She lives in the Northeast, so
and has roots in Canada as well.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that that's the thing is like you can definitely do it. And I know we, in the On the Brightline podcast, for those that are, old time fans, like we did talk about travel and how to do it. But I think it's really just like number one, planning is a huge thing, obviously. Like you have to plan. But you also sometimes you will have, taking stuff with you can be an option for car travel or plane travel. So and
I'm
then
the queen of car travel. I mean, Yeti cooler and
a lot of shelf stable stuff too. Like that's the thing.
Shelf stable milk, shelf stable rice.
I mean, the most that you carried with you at one time was like what?
7 days of food.
Yeah.
But that was mostly veggies was what was in the cooler and eggs.
Yeah.
So hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Brought my egg cooker with me.
That's funny.
Yeah, because I had to make eggs all the time.
Making eggs right now. She's not making them right now because the thing would go off and it would interrupt us.
Yes.
But so we have I'm gonna throw this out there. We have a trip coming up to Hawaii. We're traveling with a bunch of Bright Lifers. Well, we actually are actually traveling with two Bright Lifers. Yeah, on the same flight as us back and forth. But we're meeting up with a bunch of Bright people. We're staying with the Bright Lifer, all those sorts of things. So we will not be taking food with us. That's not the plan. The plan is to basically touch down and go to Costco the very next morning to make sure that we have everything that we need.
Are we gonna bring back the breakfast bags?
We could. I mean, we haven't even talked about that. We've been talking about all the other stuff we need to bring, but we haven't talked about whether we're going to bring food or not. So
I'll probably bring Ezekiel cereal. I mean, there's a lot of things that you bring that
Or just
that are easier to get, where you get them. It's not easy to find Ezekiel cereal. I'm
yeah.
sure it's not easy to find on Hawaii, but it's not easy to find in Tacoma. Like
Yeah,
I
we
order
ordered
that
it
from
on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So
And there's a lot of shelf stable stuff. I think that's the other thing to think about is that with travel, like you may not be able to eat what you normally eat. But there's a lot of things that you can do that is shelf stable that, just makes a lot of sense. So
nuts are good, traveling food.
nuts are great. I know a lot of people do like string cheese. Like that's another really good traveling protein because it doesn't, I mean,
It's
it
good cold, but it doesn't have to
has to
be.
be cold. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can eat it room temp, so it's not that big of a deal. I know there's some beef sticks out there that don't have like, don't have any sugar in them that are good that people
And
like to
roast
do.
chickpeas, a lot of people
Yeah.
like to do that. I haven't
Yeah.
done that as much, but that's an easy thing.
It is an easy thing.
Yeah.
So I think that just yeah, again,
Planning. It all
plan
comes
yeah.
down to planning. You can stay bright if you want to in any situation. You just have to plan and think ahead. And
Yeah.
like we in Portland, we checked out the restaurant we were going to go to, which is that's something that's not even a traveling thing.
No.
Anytime you go out to a restaurant, you're gonna check it out beforehand. And a lot of times, I don't think I brought purse tomatoes that time.
No.
Pocket tomatoes.
I was like, she doesn't carry a purse. So if she says purse tomatoes, she means she's putting them in my purse. Yeah. Yeah. Chime in on that. What do you think? Is that fair that I carry around tomatoes for her?
It's totally fair.
Is it totally fair?
It's fair.
Okay.
I think it's fair.
Actually, she carries like I'll we didn't talk about this in the farmer's market episode. I'm not allowed to carry bags at the farmer's market. Today, this morning at the farmer's market, we had 2 bags full of stuff, and then she got a box, and I'm not even kidding, a very large box of apples. And then
22 pounds?
22 pounds of apples. And I'm like, hey, I'll carry the bags. She's like, no, 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 just put the box here in between. Like, so she had a bag in each hand with the box in between. I was literally carrying nothing, you guys. I didn't even have my purse with me. I only had my phone with me. So it is probably fair that I carry purse tomatoes for her every once in a while.
I'd say that's fair.
What else about travel?
Your dad helped me carry that stuff back to the car. He carried the
very
bags.
kind.
He's
My
very
dad.
kind.
Yeah. I think another thing to consider, just I was thinking about my trip to Niagara last year, that when you're going across a bunch of time zones, like you have to consider like stretching, whether your day is stretching or contracting, because I think that a lot of people don't think about that when they travel. And that because I went to Niagara Falls and that's a 3-hour difference between, here and there. And so it made my day 3 hours longer. I chose to do 4 meals that day because I was just like 3 extra hours traveling, tired, on and on and on. There's no reason to suffer. So I was like, I'll add an extra meal to make up for the time difference. And it was fine. And I wrote it down and it was bright. So
And that's totally, when you plan that way and you think about the time that you're missing or gaining, even if you're a bright lifer, you can write into support and they will figure out how many time zones you're gonna, how long you're flying, and
yeah.
then they suggest you eat every 4 to 5 hours
Yeah.
on the plane. And when you're traveling to Australia, I
Yeah.
mean, when we go to Hawaii, that's gonna be, oh, that's only 2 hours. So,
Yeah,
but
we'll
if you're going from
see.
the East Coast to Hawaii, that's 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's just it's good to consider that.
Yeah, it is good to
And
consider.
then when you land, you have a grounding meal. Whenever time you land, that's when you start your breakfast or whatever,
Right.
whatever. So
Yeah.
it's possible. You just have to plan.
Yeah. So shifting gears just a little bit because we talked about like food and BLE and whatever. We have never been on a plane together before, guys.
We've been in airports a lot.
And we've done a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
We just have yet to be on a plane together. So our trip to Hawaii that we're taking in January will be the first time we have been on a plane together, which is very laughable at this point because we've done a lot of other things.
Yes.
And we both traveled a lot, done a lot of plane
Yeah, we've
traveling.
been on planes a lot.
Yes, back and
Just not
forth to see each other,
Mhm.
just not together. So that'll be an interesting experience, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Oh, she has thoughts.
No, I'm just saying, then we're gonna be with other people too. So
We are gonna be
two
with
other
other
bright light,
people.
well, bright lifer and her husband.
Husband, yeah.
So thank
Yeah.
you, Shelley, for that.
Oh yeah, Shelly, huge shout out to Shelly. Shelly helped us with some,
Like a travel
amateur
agent.
travel agent. It's amazing.
Professional.
It was
almost.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing. So anyway, so it'll be an interesting experience. I'm sure we'll have to come back and report on that.
I think we'll have an episode.
Oh yeah, we'll have an
Hawaii
episode on Hawaii.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've talked about already that since we're meeting up with, it's funny because I think when we travel, we do tend to probably meet up with bright lifers just because like we know people all over the country. We know people all over the world. Yeah. So it's like for us, it's like anywhere we go, we can pretty much meet up with other Bright Lifers. And so, we'll probably do some recording in Hawaii. We're going to talk to some people that are going to be there and see if they'll record with us. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I think it'll be fun.
And people travel all over here and come see us.
They do. Yeah, we do. We have people that
From
come see us.
Wisconsin, from
France.
France,
Yes.
from Oregon,
From Oregon. Yeah.
where else have people dropped in
I
from?
don't know.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah,
someone's coming. Who's your friend? Katie is coming?
my friend Katie is coming.
Isn't she?
Oh, wait. We're having
I think
what's going
so.
on?
Someone's coming.
Who's Katie?
Kate Peckett?
Oh,
Wow.
Kate.
Okay.
No, her name is Kate.
Okay, I was very close.
That's really funny. I'm like, what?
Should I say names? Maybe you can blur that out. I don't
Shoot,
wanna
it's
say
okay.
names.
I don't think she'll probably care.
Where's
She lives in the east. I'm trying to think where. Oh, I'm sorry, Kate. I feel so bad right now. I don't know
Wow,
where
I'm
you live. I
sorry. I
know.
did not mean to throw you
No,
under the
no, no,
bus.
no. That's okay. Like, I feel like someplace in the east, like New York or like upstate New York or
Maybe
someplace
upstate
like,
New York. I
yeah.
think that sounds right.
I'm sorry, Kate, that I don't know where you live, but she is coming. She's actually coming. This is a great story. She is coming to visit another Bright Lifer who lives in the area, who they've been friends for years and years and years because they're going to go see Taylor Swift together, which is the most awesome thing ever. So I'm very excited for them. And it's the weekend of our
Oh, that's
monthly,
right.
yeah, our monthly meetup that we have for the area. And so she's going to come to that. So I'll get to see her there.
She's gonna come here.
Yes. So traveling, traveling is a thing. And my hope is that people don't feel like the program is too restrictive to be able to do things like travel. Cause I think, we've proven we travel a lot. There are a lot of people that travel in the program. There's people that travel for a living in the program. You have to plan. And honestly, for me, like I think the planning makes it saner. Like it's one less thing to think about. I mean, other than getting all the food there, but once you're there and you have all the food, you're like, I know what I'm going to eat. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to find a restaurant or I don't have to make sure, you know, I don't know. I was never a person to like eating out at every meal. Like when I would travel, like that was never a thing.
Even before BLE?
I just didn't like, I really
Even
enjoyed,
as a foodie.
but I like to cook my own food.
Mm.
That was the thing is like restaurant meals, especially if you were someplace that you'd never been before. Like I would always want to eat out at a specific restaurant for foodie reasons. So like I have nieces that live in Chicago. Every time I went to Chicago, I'm a huge Top Chef fan. I'd go to a Top Chef restaurant just because I'm like that's an experience. But I wouldn't want to eat every meal I was there out, like because it's just like I could do better at home. That's what I always felt like I could do better at
I
home.
definitely
So
feel like that now. But it's true. If your food is set, especially as a bright lifer, as a bright person, it just makes everything else so much calmer and you can focus on the experience and the people and
yeah.
the connecting and you plan it out, everything's taken care of and it's set and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's how
But you can even plan to have the meal out like we did in
yeah,
Portland. Like that's the thing is like
we're planning a meal out in Hawaii.
yeah, just we plan for it. We say like this is what we're gonna do. We take a look at the menu beforehand, and then it becomes very sane and doesn't cause me any struggle in the food area. So
Peace.
yes, peace. What else?
Hmm.
Anything else to talk about in
Well,
travel?
we talked about planes, we talked about cars.
Trains.
Yeah,
We need to talk
haven't-
about
I don't-
trains.
haven't- Trains or,
Have we been on a train together?
hmm, I don't think so.
Gonna have to make that happen.
Isn't there one in Canada that has like all those views and there's
Oh yeah, like
sleeping
you can take like
berths?
along the southern like
Right.
edge of Canada. I was
Yeah.
gonna say coast, and I'm like, that's not a coast. It's just it's a border.
Top of us, bottom of them. But I think that would be fun.
That would be fun. We
Yeah.
talked about doing a Canadian road trip. Like it would be really fun to go north and like
Visit
just
all our
drive. Yeah,
Canadian
and visit all the
friends.
Canadian friends. We have a lot of friends in Canada too. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Right, friends all over.
yeah.
Can't think of anything else.
Okay.
Oh, I can think of another thing actually is PECs
Oh,
and
post
being
yeah.
ready when you come home from
Post event
traveling.
collapse syndrome. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Go ahead.
And that is something that I tend to do when I travel is to have meals ready to go when I come home. So there's nothing that I have to shop for or cook or do any, everything is prepped and it can be frozen, it can be fresh. I mean, when I went on my trip for 6 weeks, 5.5 weeks, I couldn't make it fresh, but I had stuff frozen, I had canned, shelf stuff that I think I had to go get some yogurt,
Yeah.
and that was it. And so just to have that ready, so the easiest choice is the bright choice when you get home, that you
Yeah.
don't have to think about that or do that, the unpacking and the laundry and the everything else you have to do to not worry about food makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So that's something I definitely recommend.
Yeah. And we're red-eyeing back from Hawaii. So we'll have flown out the night before and land the morning. So
So are we gonna have breakfast and then sleep?
uh-huh.
And then, because then we'll be on regular time, even if we fly all night.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll have breakfast
Kids will
and
be
then
at
sleep. The
school,
kids will be at school.
and we will
Yeah.
sleep until
Until they come
3:59.
home.
We have to go pick them up.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to get up for lunch though.
Eh. Anyway, we'll
figure that
we'll figure that out and we'll let you guys know what we decide, but we will
We'll
decide
do a
before we
Hawaii
go.
episode, yeah, and we'll talk about what we did when we
Yeah.
got home.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so. I think PEX is a real thing though, and I think that that's something, and I think that talk a little bit more about that is it's more than just making sure that you have a plan in place. Because there's always that, that dip in the sine wave. You've had this trip, and whether it's been good, bad, or indifferent, right? Like whether you were like, I just had to travel for a funeral not very long ago, like still coming off that, there was all kinds of emotions and feelings. And so there's kind of a downward trend normally, after you return. And so just not having to have willpower in place, which is what, like what Bright Line Eating is about, is like trying to cover the willpower gap, because a lot of times we just don't have the willpower. And this is just such the freeing part of the program, is it's like the program is meant to make it so that like I don't have to have the willpower. People say that to me all the
But
time.
you don't have the will. You don't have that much
Right.
willpower, and
Yeah.
it's not your fault. People say, "Oh, you have no willpower.
Yeah.
You're weak. You're whatever." It's not true. You only have so much. Everyone has a finite amount of willpower,
Right.
and you have to choose carefully where you use it,
Right.
and realize that it is a finite amount.
Right.
And it's not a character defect if you don't have enough, or you feel like you don't have enough. It's not. Everyone has a limited amount.
Right. Right. And that is the program, and what people call rigidity, which we call like freedom and peace. People call rigidity about the program is the tools that we have in place that help us not have to have willpower in those moments. Because I've written down my food the night before, which we do. We write down our food the night before, so we know exactly what the choice is going to be. We don't have to make a choice in the moment, and that
Don't have to spend our willpower.
we don't have to spend any willpower on what am I going to eat today. And like coming back from a trip, I'm sure everybody can agree, like exhausted, tired, like you said, unpacking, laundry, just like, for us going to Hawaii, we're going to be without the kids for, 6 days. Like it's going to be, it's going to be a lot to come back to reenter. And so like having food in place and not having to stress about that will alleviate any kind of need to think that through and have that through. And to me, like, it just makes sense. Like, that's the one thing about the program that has always just been like the click for me was like, this isn't a character flaw, right? Like, it's not something wrong with me. It's like, I just didn't put the tools in place ever before. And I always relied on my willpower, which is never enough. It's never enough.
Never.
So,
yeah.
So travel is possible. Travel is lovely. We like to travel.
We really do.
Yeah. We want to do.
Hawaii.
We're looking forward to Hawaii. We want to do a lot more traveling. It's hard to do with kids and yeah. So, we do a family vacation every summer. That's something that I have, as a parent, said that is one of the most important things, because some of my best memories as a kid is from family vacation in the summertime. And it's just a time to, I think, just unwind and detach. So, we'll at least one trip a year with the kids, but, hopefully other trips too. So.
I love a good road trip.
Yeah. This one with the car. Okay. I think that's right.
I think we did well.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I'm sure we will talk to you soon.
Definitely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go change.
You're gonna put on your big thief.
I am. Are you?
No. Do you want? Should we be matching for the holiday episode? For the holiday episode.
Yeah, no, I already get foreshadowed. I'm going to wear it.
You're gonna have to. And that's the show. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to contact us, you can email us at pattyandmegan@gmail.com or hit us up on any of our socials. Have a beautiful, bright day.